What is up, everybody? Back with another top 10 video here, and it's going to be my 10 favorite albums from 1983. Another fantastic year with a lot of really great albums to go through and pick from. Pretty tough to narrow it down, but I've got my 10 ready to go. We'll give some honorable mentions after I say my number 2 as usual. Here we go. Starting off the list at number 10 is Power and the Glory by Saxon. Really good album from a great band. They're actually my second favorite to come out of the new wave of British heavy metal movement, just behind Iron Maiden. This album here, it's got 8 songs on it, a lot of really good stuff. The title track is amazing. The opening riff, absolutely killer. Red Line, Warrior, Nightmare, Midas Touch. The Eagle Has Landed, so just a really good, consistent record from start to finish here. Biff Byford on vocals, has a good voice. Graham Oliver and Paul Quinn, really good guitar duo. Nigel Glockler on the drums, and Steve Dawson on bass. So just overall, really like this album. Number 10, Power and the Glory. Next up at number 9 is Shout at the Devil by Mötley Crüe. Awesome stuff here. It's their second album overall. The guitar tone is amazing from Mick Mars. He's a great player. Vince Neil, make fun of him all you want. He sounds pretty dang good on this album and a lot of their 80s stuff, I think. Nikki Sixx on bass and Tommy Lee on the drums kills it as well. But this album has a lot of their great classic stuff. Red Hot, title track on here, Looks That Kill. What else we got here? Too Young to Fall in Love is another one of their really massively popular songs, which I think it's a really good one. Danger and 10 Seconds to Love, 2 really cool underrated ones. Knock 'Em Dead Kids, one of my favorites of theirs of all time. So overall, just a really solid album here. Shout at the Devil, number 9. Next up at number 8 is Melissa by Mercyful Fate. I'm a huge Mercyful Fate fan, but with this album, I don't love it quite as much as some people do. I did rank their discography in the past and had this one down near the bottom. People thought I was crazy, but just for me, I think they have an extremely strong discography. I still do like this album a lot, as you see it on this list. Just think as time went on, Mercyful Fate got a little better. The production got better, which I liked more. But this album's still very evil and awesome sounding. You know, it's got 7 songs. Still got the great duo of Michael Denner and Hank Sherman on guitar. King Diamond on vocals is amazing. I think he's got like one of the best ranges in metal. Just really unique and cool voice. That little like evil, sinister, like cackling laugh thing he does is really cool. But the songs on it, I said there's 7 of them. My favorites, I'd say, are Curse of the Pharaohs, probably Satan's Fall, and Into the Coven. But top to bottom, pretty dang solid album. Very good stuff. Melissa, number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. Awesome stuff here. It's his first with Jakey Lee on guitar, who, as I've said in multiple videos in the past, is my favorite guitarist he's ever had. Tommy Aldridge on drums, fantastic player. Don Airey on the keyboards, and Bob Daisley on bass. So, killer lineup all the way around there. And, of course, Ozzy sounds great on vocals as usual. And as you see, you know, this is a pretty dark and eerie-looking album cover, which goes along well with the overall atmosphere and mood of the album, which I love. But looking at this track listing, a lot of great stuff. Rock and Roll Rebel, Waiting for Darkness, and the title track are my 3 favorites. The title track, my absolute favorite Ozzy song of all time. So, really, really good album here. Bark at the Moon, number 7. Next up at number 6 is Kill 'Em All by Metallica. I got this one on cassette tape as well. Really good and influential thrash metal album. It's their debut, of course. It is my favorite by them as well. I did a ranking on their discography over a year ago now, but this one has always been my favorite. Really killer stuff. Looking at this track listing, Metal Militia, final track on the album, without question my favorite on it. Super fast, amazing song. And probably Jump in the Fire, and I would say Seek and Destroy, my other two favorites on here. But of course, The Four Horsemen's great, Motor Breath, No Remorse is a really great, kind of overlooked song on here. But yeah, really cool stuff. I'll probably show this real quick. Got the little inside thing, the picture of the guys there. It folds out. Got Dave Mustaine's songwriting credits in there because he wrote like half the album. But you know, great stuff. Kill 'em All, number 6. Next up at number 5 is Show No Mercy by Slayer, another great classic thrash metal debut album here. 10 songs on it, a lot of awesome stuff. Die by the Sword, Fight Till Death, Black Magic, The Antichrist, Evil Has No Boundaries. A lot of great stuff there, and you know, always love that dueling, kind of chaotic, distorted guitar soloing going back and forth between Jeff Hanneman and Kerry King. Of course, you got Tom Araya on vocals and bass, and Dave Lombardo rounding out the lineup. Killer stuff here. Show No Mercy, number 5. Coming in at number 4 is See You in Hell by Grim Reaper, which I've got on the wall right here on vinyl. Got to take it down to show. Killer album, really awesome cover art as well. This is their debut album. These guys came out right at the tail end of the new wave of British heavy metal movement, so technically it is new wave of British heavy metal, but one of the best albums from that entire era there. 8 songs on here. My favorites are the title track, Dead on Arrival, and Wrath of the Ripper, but solid start to finish. Amazing guitar playing from Nick Bocock, great tone, a lot of great riffs and solos all over the album. Steve Grimmett on vocals is an amazing singer, fantastic range, great voice. Dave Wanklin on bass and Lee Harris on the drums, rounding out the lineup. Pretty much everything these guys did was really damn good, but this album here is my favorite by them. See You in Hell, number 4. Next up at number 3 is Maniac by the band Acid. Really amazing stuff here, super underrated. These guys are from Belgium, released 3 albums total, and this one here, definitely my favorite by them. There's some differing sources on the debut album. Some say it came out in 82, some say 83, but this one here, Maniac, for sure came out in 83. It's their second album overall, and I like it the best either way, so it would be my choice regardless. But there's 8 songs, a lot of really killer stuff. The guitar tone and playing is amazing. The vocals from Kate De Lombard are really good as well. Kind of remind me of Doro Pesch a little bit, that same kind of style. And the music, you know, new wave of British heavy metal influence, maybe some Accept, a bit faster, kind of that classic speed metal sound, as I said. But some favorite songs on it, I would say, are Black Car, America, Lucifera, Max Overload is great, Bottoms Up is another awesome one. So really top to bottom here, fantastic, great, underrated album that I highly recommend you go check out. Maniac, Acid, number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Holy Diver by Dio. Amazing album, the debut from this band. Of course, Ronnie James Dio and Vinny Appice were in Black Sabbath prior to this. They left Sabbath, formed Dio. Vivian Campbell on guitar and Jimmy Bain on bass rounded out the lineup for this album and their first couple albums. But fantastic stuff here. Looking at this track listing, Stand Up and Shout, amazing opener, one of the best of all time. The title track is awesome. Gypsy's a really good song. Don't Talk to Strangers. Shame on the Night's a really amazing one. Rainbow in the Dark, maybe the biggest Dio song of all time. Straight Through the Heart's amazing. Invisible, a good underrated one. So top to bottom, fantastic album right there. And gonna run through some honorable mentions as usual here. So no particular order with this. Loose and Lethal by the band Savage, really good. Pretty underrated new wave of British heavy metal band. The Europe self-titled debut, which first 2 Europe albums, traditional metal, Swedish band, really good stuff. The Law of Devil's Land by Loudness, really good one. Steeler self-titled, which is with Ron Keel and Yngwie Malmsteen. Another Perfect Day by Motorhead. Pyromania by Def Leppard, which, I mean, it's on the edge. You want to call it metal, hard rock, new wave of British heavy metal. Regardless, really good album. Breaking the Chains by Dokken is kind of interesting one because this originally came out in 81 and then they put it out again in 83, but really good album. Night Rider, title track, Paris is Burning, a lot of really good stuff on there, so definitely deserving of at least an honorable mention. 220 Volts self-titled debut is pretty good album. Tokyo Blade self-titled debut is good. Sirens by Sabotage. Guilty as Charged by Culprit, really good underrated one. Thunder and Lightning by Thin Lizzy. Metal Health by Quiet Riot. Balls to the Wall by Accept. Born Again by Black Sabbath. Heavy Metal Soldiers by the band Pandemonium, pretty good underrated one. And Deliver Us by the band Warlord, another really cool underrated album. So, yeah, I guess I'm on to my number 1. Taking the number 1 spot is Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden. Fantastic album, great performances from everybody in the band. It is their first with Nico McBrain on the drums. He's played on everything for them since then. Bruce Dickinson, of course, on vocals, sounds amazing as usual. Dave Murray and Adrian Smith on guitar, fantastic. Steve Harris on bass, great as well. Looking at this track listing, all this stuff I think is good, but some standouts for me I'd say are The Trooper for sure. That is one of the best heavy metal songs of all time in my opinion, definitely my favorite by Iron Maiden. The opening riff is amazing, the build-up, those lyrics are great, Bruce sounds awesome, the guitar solos from Dave Murray and Adrian Smith, just everything about the song is perfect. Where Eagles Dare and probably Die With Your Boots On, but are my 3 favorites, but Flight of Icarus is great. And something some people say about this album is that side 2 is weak. I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of really great overlooked material on that side. To Tame a Land, Still Life, and Sun and Steel specifically. Quest for Fire, probably the weakest song on the album, but I do think it is still not bad. Just overall, amazing stuff here. Peace of Mind, my number 1 of 1983. So that does wrap up my ranking, and as usual, I want to see your lists in the comments. Let me know what you thought, and until next time, thank you for watching.